Hot 96.5.
Yeah. Radio you can watch.
You're welcome back to Church on Radio. I, Martin Ifan, School Gregory, as I number the first on Hot 96.5 FM, Asaba. Yeah, the word of the Lord this morning is telling us that it is over. Over. The storm is over. Poverty, over. You know? War. The war is over. You know? Poverty is very high. Let's talk about it a bit. Poverty is very high in the midst of the body of Christ because the devil have made believers jealous, envious, and have taken away the essence of brotherhood amongst the so-called believers. A lot of people who prostitute today because, they prostitute today because when they needed help from their congregation, they could not get it, you know, for one reason or the other, for one politics or the other, you know. I've heard a younger brother to a priest call a sister in the church by the name Church Obo, that is temple prostitute. People are suffering so much, even amongst believers, because most churches are places where fashion parade is taking place. You know, a lot of people go to church to showcase their wardrobe. That's a fact. Why the kingdom of darkness have taken the practice of brotherhood, you know, serious, they are doing it better than it is done amongst the so-called people of God. You know, they aid each other once you have accepted to join their rebellious ways, you know, and that is why like ritual practice is so much amongst us, you know. I can remember while I was still I covered the beat somewhere around Idan somewhere, and I covered the beat. I got the news coverage of the particular event. You know, a little boy was killed, you know, and his tongue was taken from him and his private parts too. And I happened to be the first person to report the story. I covered it with the camera and then reported the story then. So when I got to the station where I was working then, I was so angry. I was like lamenting, why must something like this happen? Why, you know? And everybody was looking at me like, why are you so worked up? It is a norm already. You know, everybody was okay with it, that these things will happen, you know. And I think it is being said because some are willing to do the same in order to get paid, you know, and all that. So, but that increased my anger the more, you know. I'm saying this because the kingdom of darkness, even in their practices, are looking out for each other, you know. But look at the so-called people of God. I know exactly how I was embarrassed the day I suggested to a group of elders in church about starting a scholarship project to help younger ones. They laughed at me. What are you talking about? A lot of people have suffered under this disguise, and the Lord is saying this morning that it is over. And this drama in congregations is over. You need to listen or read the book. I think it is in the Gifted Hands that Dr. Ben Carson talked about the story about his father, who was a pastor, but he had two families in two different cities. Like Ben Carson's mother was the first one, then he had another one in another city and was running two families at the same time. And his lifestyle was different from what he was telling the congregation. You need to read that book so you understand that a lot of people will tell you about Jesus and my father Yahweh don't even know him, you know. But Yahweh is saying this morning that it is over. The war is over. The pretense is over. He's removing the magicians that people depend on. These days, native doctors laugh at Christians who come to preach to them about Christ because they know a couple of so-called men of God who they gave shams to operate with. But this morning, Yahweh is saying that it is over. Enough. Let's worship the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Yahweh. Because right now, we don't have any reason to fear. Here comes J.J. Heston and his choir, and this one he calls it No Reason to Fear.